This is a man. He was the son of a mother, the husband of his wife, the father of his children. A man. His name is Dred Scott. Around 1799, he was born into slavery in Virginia. He was sold, around age 30, to a US Army doctor who took him into Illinois, which had banned slavery from its foundation in 1819. He continued to be held in slavery, even though slavery was unlawful. In 1846, he attempted to purchase his freedom and that of his family from their owner's widow, but she refused. Mr. Scott then sued for his freedom. He argued that when he was taken into Illinois, his bonds of slavery had been severed. He had ceased to be a slave because slavery in Illinois was unlawful. The matter went through a number of courts and ultimately found its way to the US Supreme Court, where the court made a ruling which stands as a historical record of an appalling chapter of US and indeed world history. The Supreme Court found that Mr. Scott was not a man, but rather was a piece of property, and that as such he had no right to approach the courts to seek justice. The entire judgment is an appalling record, but I have always thought this was the worst. The court quoted from the Declaration of Independence. "We hold these truths to be self-evident, that all men are created equal, that they are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, that among them is life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, that to secure these rights, governments are instituted, deriving their just powers from the consent of the governed." But then the courts said, the general words above quoted would seem to embrace the whole human family, but it is too clear for dispute that the enslaved African race were not intended to be included, and formed no part of the people who framed and adopted this declaration. The public reaction outside the slave states was fury, perhaps none more so than a rising Republican lawyer in Illinois named Abraham Lincoln. It would be too much to suggest that the Dred Scott decision precipitated the Civil War, but it is a chapter in the story. As for Mr. Scott himself, he was freed in 1857. He died just 18 months later, but he died a free man.